have a story from Japan which is about a young farmer who wants to become a no actor, and during that story he meets a shape-changing creature, a snake, and he manages to get out of the danger by saying that he's a fox, that he can also change shape, and he uses his masks to do that. First, he turns himself into a samurai warrior, and after that he then goes behind a tree and he puts on a mask and turns himself into a beautiful young lady, a geisha of the court. And after being the geisha, he then turns himself into one of the servants, a comic servant from the kyogen, the interludes that often break up what can be otherwise a very emotionally draining performance. Most of the masks in my collection come from Indonesia, specifically from the islands of Java and Bali. And in Java you will find many masks in the wayang topeng. Wayang is theatre and topeng is mask. And this is a dance, often a dance drama. And in the wayang topeng, then often the stories come from the Indian classics of the Mahabharata or the Ramayana. And so Rama, for example, is always a popular character, very refined. His very long, angular noses, and a lot of the movements in that style of dance are very mimetic of the wayang kulit, the shadow puppets, so very angular, jointed from the elbow and from the shoulder, from the wrist, and the painted Rama. Masks, as I would imagine almost everywhere, are used not only to play humans but also to play mythic characters, gods and animals. This wonderful mask here, which is quite a heavy mask, I wouldn't like to actually have to dance with it for any length of time, of Hanuman, the monkey god from the Ramayana. Very good vision, fits very well, but heavy. Most of the masks that are made in Asia seem to be wood, not leather, not papier-mâché, certainly not the kind of injection or vacuum molded. And indeed, if you see a dancer who is not a good performer with the mask, they will often call him a carpenter, someone who just pushes the wood around because the mask is on his face and he is not making it come alive. This one, which has the stamp from the Kraton, the Royal Palace in Yogyakarta, on the inside, beautiful bird mask. Mask collection began seriously one year in 1979 when I was in Yogyakarta in central Java, and I was riding in becak, which is like a bicycle trishaw, if you like, and we passed a small hole-in-the-wall shop on a street near Malioboro, which is the main street that leads right through the city to the Kraton, the palace. And I saw some masks hanging on the wall, and I got to meet Pak Najar, who was a dalang, that is the puppeteer, as well as being this wonderful mask maker. And I bought many of his masks over the next 10 years or so. In Asia, as in the Commedia dell'Arte tradition, there are very, very few female masks. The characters are almost always male. There are one or two exceptions. Well, yes, it's true. It's very true indeed that most of the masked characters in Asia are male. But that's not to say, of course, that there aren't females. And indeed, the female character is often very important indeed. Oh, yes. I must say, absolutely. Yes. Oh, absolutely. I think it's very important. And I would want you to underplay, for example, in Bali, in the Barong dance, the main character is, of course, Ranga, who is this wicked witch. I mean, she's got the most horrendous hair and the biggest pair of ding-dong, oh, dear me. And she's evil, absolutely evil. Yes, oh, terrible. So, yes, unfortunately, when women do appear in a masked character, they are rather scary. Unlike me, of course. Yes, yes, allow me just to say a few words about the Wayang Orang, as opposed to the Wayang Topeng, which Roger was speaking about earlier. A Wayang Orang, meaning really the people's theatre, tends to use the half mask, indeed. And these are characters who are very popular in the folklore, and yes, it is of course a comic theatre indeed, and often you would find in the often improvised dialogue there would be local political and social and probably scatological references too, which are of course very popular. And so the Wayang Orang is something that is very popular indeed, particularly in Java and Bali. And these comic characters will form perhaps an interlude in an otherwise serious story, so that perhaps someone such as Hanuman, the monkey god, on his way to rescue or help Rama rescue Sita from the demon, they might interact with some local villagers who would be trying to help Hanuman, but not doing a particularly good job. Yes. I think that's about all I had to say. Where? Oh, there. Hello. Yes, I've been asked to say a few words because I've been studying Topeng as part of my IB theatre, and what can I say about Topeng? Well, of course, it is always an evolving art, and new characters, unlike the traditional characters of Rama and Sita, which you may have seen earlier. That, of course, the joy about making masks is that you can make different characters to be more like topical or current. I think that's all I had to say. Yeah. Yes, if I just allow me to say a few words, I think that if this mask was made in leather rather than in wood, then I think I would not be out of place in a Commedia dell'Arte performance, would I not? Yes. So, of course, one possibility is that this mask, which was made in Bali, may have been inspired by a mask maker there who had been hired by an Italian company over there in order to make some masks for them using wood, and presumably a heck of a lot cheaper than getting an Italian master craftsman to make a mask in leather. But on the other hand, I suspect that this is a fairly traditional design also, because you can find this T-shaper in many mask shops in Bali, even today. Oh, I do have one more mask that I want to share, a friend of mine. Yes, nice mask I want to share. Good photographer. I can try.